seen like lots of many moms walking into a clinic or coming to you for consult. So what would you say it's also what's the biggest, like most obvious thing that you see common among all mothers?
So we've got the 5 nutrient deficiencies, right? Out of the 5, I would say that there's going to be one that it stands out the most, and that's going to be iron.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, iron is so poorly tested and very poorly interpreted as well by doctors. So you, even after identifying that you want to check your iron levels, it is sometimes not good enough to go to doctor and say, hey, can I have my iron levels checked? Because your doctor may not know that to find out the true level of your iron, you actually need 5 tests.
Right.
And those 5 tests do not include iron levels. Okay, so your iron levels in your bloodstream is always kept constant, even though you are very iron deficient. So it will not reveal iron deficiency unless you've been going on with iron deficiency for 10 years. You've been losing your hair and probably low fertility as well. So the medical profession and the lab ranges are very good at catching when you are almost dying. But we must recognize that there is a growing and increasing number of people who are experiencing subhealth.
Yes. Yes.
And subfertility. There are people who have come to me after their rounds of IVF, having never had their iron addressed properly. And I find it such a shame
Right.
because you spent a lot of money, effort, time, emotion on the whole process, not knowing that you actually lacked a major nutrient for conception and ovulation. So that is the number one issue. And I work with the Iron Clinic in Singapore to address this and to encourage people to get their iron tested. So for mommies, especially who have been menstruating all their lives and who have had babies, I definitely, and there are a lot of babies. There are just too many children who are born iron deficient. So they do not reach their
Yes, yes. So,
mental.
so is it true that with every birth, mom actually depletes more iron?
Unless you're able to replace it. If you're good with your iron levels during each pregnancy, your baby will take 1,000 milligram of iron from you, and then after that, after pregnancy, you do
Top
confinement
it
and
up
you
again.
build up your levels. But a lot of people don't, and also veganism is on trend now, and eating less meat is on trend. So it becomes very difficult even to. Also, when you're low in iron, your absorptive abilities are poorer. So it's a catch-22 situation where you are low in iron, but you're also not able to absorb anymore.
That's an
Um,
interesting one when you raise up veganism.
yes.
Oh my God, that's another topic of discussion. But
Yeah. So there's that. There's definitely a way to be plant-based, but nutrient dense, and there are people who have done it. As a practitioner, I will only see the people who come into problems. But there is a way to do it. Unfortunately, the way to do it involves taking synthetic supplements.
mm,
Yeah, because biologically we are cavemen and we are omnivores biologically. From an earth sustainability point of view, it definitely is better to go plant-based, but I don't think that it needs to be so extreme because we obviously need to survive as a species as well. And to survive as a species, we need to understand
survive well also is the key word, I think.
right.
Survive
Yeah.
well. You don't want just to be like,
We live in a very interesting time where animals are bred so that they are very inflammatory. So when you take out animal products, you definitely have less inflammation
check
in
out
your
information.
body.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean that eating animals is bad. It's eating modern raised agriculture that's bad. So we're stuck in another catch-22 where we're supposed to eat meat and dairy and chicken and things like that, but the way that the
The
animals are
way they
raised
have been
is so
raised, yeah.
unhealthy that actually, yes, we kind of actually should limit it as well. So we're stuck. We're like, we should eat meat, but we should limit it. And the way that they are raised are also not very green. And so, yeah, it's very water intensive, and deforestation and these kind of things are really big concerns as well. So I really like Dr. Hyman's work in pharmacy. And I like also Dr. Zach Bush, who is into regenerative
Dr. Zach,
farming
yeah.
as well. So I think that those things, the more awareness, the more we can support those causes, I think will regenerate our soil and our earth, and they have everything to do with how well our children and grandchildren survive and procreate. So even if we're fertile now, like for me, I feel like, oh, I'm so blessed fertile, but it doesn't mean that my children are not going to have fertility issues because they were born from me and there's plastic in my placenta. I know that because it's been shown in the studies that people find microplastic in the placenta,
Yes, yes.
So yeah, like this lifetime, I think we need to turn into a little bit more like longer term thinkers. But back to your question, top
Iron.
nutrient is iron. If you follow me or just like DM me on Instagram, which is the best place to look for me, obviously I've got a website as well. I would absolutely like want to point you into the right resources, and I have freebies also on my Instagram about how to get your vitamin D up properly, what is the optimal range, not just the regular lab range, and